Hey guys, it's time for another Tractor Talk. Hope everybody's had a great week. But I mean, how can you not? Boots back on the hill. Hogs are 3-0 in basketball. It's good times all around to be a fan of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I want to wish Eric Mosman a happy birthday, and he's done a great job. He's gotten all 5 of these recruits to sign in the early signing period. Number 2 recruiting class in the country. Could get better. Maybe, if we can get Anthony Black on board, but what a start already to this season. Playing some great. We'll go ahead and stick right here with basketball. I didn't get to watch much of the Gardner-Webb game when I was in Baton Rouge, but watching them against Northern Iowa, the three-pointers were falling like crazy for them. And in the first half, they were struggling with getting around some of the dribble handoff screens and the driving penetrations, kicking out to the open three-point shooters. But in the second half, they really clamped down on the perimeter, and they were just knocking them down. So I'm really just not worried about a three-point defense. I know I've seen a lot of, people talking on Twitter about the lack of perimeter D, but in that second half, they played really good D, and they were just knocking down their shots. So, credit to them more so than our poor defense. But the Hogs, how great is it? You've got 3 different leading scorers for 3 games. One guy was 7'3", and the next guy that leads you in scoring is 5'6". So this team's got a lot of versatility. They're going to be able to match up well with any opponent. Their depth is great this year compared to last year, and really looking forward to them going to Kansas City and playing against some more premier talent this next week. Well, guys, we got a bunch to go through this on this show. We're adding a new segment called our Technical Foul segment. We're going to talk with some expert waterfowl hunters across the state and get some duck reports for all you hunters out there. And this segment is open for sponsorship. You can talk to our program director or our sales rep, which both happen to be me. So if you want to sponsor this segment, it is open for sponsorship. Today we're going to talk with our good buddy Will Dickinson, also known as the Riverbend Boss, and he's going to give us a duck report across the state and a couple of his key tips for calling in mallards and setting up a decoy spread. Guys, now for our Technical Foul segment, we're being joined by Will Dickinson, a.k.a. Riverbend Boss. This guy's hunted ducks all the way from Minnesota to Arkansas. He's a good friend of the show, and we're going to get some of his input on the waterfowl this year. Will, how's it going?
Man, it couldn't be better. Thank you for having me, Jake.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure you're looking forward to opening weekend. What have you heard this year about, the duck numbers and what to expect this year in Arkansas?
Well, there's a lot of ducks in the state at this point. I mean, you can drive down the road in East Arkansas and see that. But the problem is there's no damn water. Rain has not been on our side lately. But the ducks are here. This morning I was in my deer stand, and they were everywhere. I could hear them everywhere.
Yeah, it seems like anywhere along the river right now it's going to have some birds, especially if you got water. Will, let's talk about your call sequence. Let's say you got a mallard working and you're in a timber hole and it's being a little shy. What do you like to do to try to get that duck to finally commit?
Well, man, obviously chatter is everything. If you got a big group of ducks that are circling, you got to stay on them. Obviously, you're going to hit them with a hail call for a comeback, and then everybody loves the lonesome hen. Give the 3 quacks and then a wail on it. So that's what it is, man. If it works out, awesome.
Are you a fan of these motion decoys, the butt kickers, the mojos? Do you like using those in your spreads?
It depends where I'm at, man. At the end of the day, it depends where I'm at. If it's a cloudy day, throwing out a mojo for the first hour, letting them see that, because typically they have a hard time seeing in that condition. But overall, yeah, it's all about motion and the spread, son.
Well, Will, we appreciate your input. I'm sure all of our listeners will be sure to appreciate that information. It's pretty valuable coming from you. Guys, this is Will Dickinson, the Riverbend Boss, joining us. We really appreciate him being on the show today.
Jake, thank you for having me, brother.
Well, we appreciate Will joining the show. We're going to hop into some football talk now. Hogs take care of business in Baton Rouge, and I did get to make the trip down, and I just want to say this about the atmosphere in Baton Rouge and my experience. There's a lot of misconception about the LSU fans. I had a wonderful time down there. The fans were very inviting. The hospitality was great. we got the tailgate with some LSU fans, and man, they do it right down there. Their tailgating scene is incredible. The food was wonderful. They welcomed us with open arms. We had no problems with any fans. And so I would highly recommend anybody taking a trip down there the next time the Hawks play, or just for the heck of it. We really had a great experience down there. But it was great to see the Hawks come away with the boot the first time in 6 years. It was kind of a defensive battle, and that's not really what I expected going down there. I thought our offense might be able to put up some points on their D. But they blitzed hard like they did against Bama. We didn't pick it up very well in that first half, and they were struggling. If it wasn't for the one busted play where KJ got out of the pocket and found Dominique Johnson wide open, we might not have come away with a victory there. So credit to LSU's defense. Even though they are struggling this year, they still have a bunch of talent on that roster, and it was obvious on Saturday. But what a great job for the Hawks to come away with a win. They've won in so many different ways this year. They've won offensively, they've won defensively. They've showed that they can play with about any type of football team, any type of style, and it was great to see us get that boot back this weekend. High yield player of the game's got to go to Cam Little. Man, he's been stone cold all season. He has been. It's great to have confidence in a kicker again, and it was really good to see there once Montague Brown came with a big interception that they knew that Cam Little was going to make that kick, and we didn't have to go down there and try to score a touchdown. So there was an exciting football game. Once again, the Baton Rouge is a great experience. I highly recommend it for anybody. My good buddy Douglas Munson was on the show last week. We're going to talk with him. He's going to tell us about his experience, what he thought about the game, and probably give us an update on the Ozark Hillbillies as well.
Now joining us on Tractor Talk, former Arkansas high school quarterback legend Douglas Munson. Douglas, you were a big hit with our listeners last week. They enjoyed you being a guest, so we're bringing you back. Give us an update on the Hillbillies. Everybody's dying to know. What's Ozark looking at this week?
Man, big game this week. Game of the week, CrossFit at Ozark. Round 2 of the playoffs. We're looking at both programs got great athletes. You can't forget about CrossFit's senior quarterback, Tyreek Jones. He's thrown for 1,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. He's ran for 200 each game, Jake. I mean, this guy's a running machine, averaging 204 yards a game on the ground. I like Ozark by 4 tonight. CrossFit's in town. I like Ozark by 4. So we'll see what happens.
What do you expect from Jeremiah Glidewell, the Ozark Hillbilly quarterback? How's he going to handle this game?
Last week he threw for 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I expect nothing else again tonight. The kid's getting looks by Arkansas Tech. The Wonder Boys like him. He's also getting looks from Henderson State. He's got a good arm, good size on him, 6'1", about 205. Big kid, good family, from what I understand.
Well, hopefully the Hillbillies can pull it out again tonight. Douglas, you went down to Baton Rouge. We made the trip down. What was your experience like? I really enjoyed myself. I want to hear from your perspective. What did you think of Baton Rouge and the whole game atmosphere down there at LSU?
First time to Baton Rouge. I'm going to put it bluntly. I was just so disappointed at our tailgate scene my whole life now that I've gone to Baton Rouge, that we could do so much more. Baton Rouge is an unbelievable environment. They know how to get ready for a SEC football game. And more importantly, at the stadium, they are on top of the players. The way that stadium's built, it's high. It's built straight off the ground. It doesn't have a hole at the bottom where the field is. And I really felt like we were on top of the players, which I think in a big game environment, that's how you can really get the crowd in the home team favor. And sometimes I feel like we miss that at Fayetteville, I mean, would you agree with me?
I agree with you there. It's the lack of our tailgating scene compared to theirs was baffling. And even the LSU fans mentioned that it was kind of a low crowd or, not a big crowd compared to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the tailgate we were at, it was absolutely jam-packed, and they told us this is just not a good turnout for the tailgate scene. So it just made us just, mind-blown.
Yep. Well, it was a great time. I'd recommend it to anybody. Let's move on to Alabama. What do the Hogs have to do this week? Big task. How can the Hogs keep this game close going into the fourth quarter?
Well, first things first, we can't fall behind in the first quarter by 2 touchdowns. We can't let KJ come in there and get rattled. Against Georgia, what I think hurt us the most in a big game like that is we felt nervous. You could just sense it from our offensive line. so many false starts in that first quarter, first half. We got to get settled in. We got to come out and get the ball in Trey Lundberg's hands. I mean, throw it deep to him first play for all I care. I want to see us be competitive. I think we can beat Alabama. I know that's a long shot here, but I really do.
Well, that would be what a win for this program if they could somehow go down there and beat the Tide in Tuscaloosa. Douglas, thank you for joining the show today. Give me a score prediction before you leave. What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
Well, I've got to throw in my game of the week in high school football. I like Malvern against Rivercrest tonight at Rivercrest. I like Malvern by 4.
Okay.
Leopards are led by senior running back Johnson, Michael Johnson. He's ran for, let me look here, 2,400 yards this year, Jake. 2,400 yards. Great year for the Leopards. They're going to upset Rivercrest tonight in Rivercrest. Arkansas versus Alabama. Arkansas 34, Alabama 31. You heard it here first.
Oh, you're calling the upset on Tractor Talk right now, live on the radio.
Live on the radio.
Wow. All right. We're going to hold you to it, Douglas. We're going to hold you to it. Well, man, have a good weekend. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, Jake. Have a good one, bud.
Thanks, Douglas. Thanks to Douglas for joining the program today. Obviously a fan favorite. He's got the Hawks winning this weekend, guys. Maybe there's a chance. But we appreciate Douglas joining the show.
We appreciate Douglas joining the show. Obviously a tall task this weekend with Alabama. You know, some people say they're down, but when you look at their numbers, they're really not. It's just not as dominant as they normally are. You know, it's just one of those games where just some crazy things are going to happen our way for us to pull off a win. You know, maybe run a kickback or a pick six or something of that nature. But it's going to be hard just to go line up down there, you know, man on man and go down there and beat them in Tuscaloosa. But crazier things have happened this year. Maybe the Hawks will come away with a victory. We'll see Saturday. We'll see tomorrow. But guys, enjoy y'all's weekend. All you duck hunters, stay safe out there, and we'll talk with you next week on Tractor Talk.